Hello, I'm Erin from the Mount Airy Library, and my name tag, you can't really see it here, but yeah, I'm Erin, and I work at the Mount Airy Library, and I'm here with you today to celebrate Banned Books Week. So, all week long, we are highlighting some of our favorite reads for teens that some have historically attempted to keep out of the hands of readers. So, today, I would like to share with you one of my favorites, which is Fahrenheit 451. This is by Ray Bradbury, and it was published in 1951. It is actually not in our teen section. This is in our adult science fiction section. However, I first read this when I was in high school, back in the late 90s. And it's definitely for a teen audience. We read a lot of things. I took a class called 20th Century Novel, which I'll never forget. I love that class. And we read things like this, 1984, Brave New World, lots of really great stuff. And the reason I wanted to highlight this one was because not only is this book banned, or has been banned in some cases, but it's kind of about banned books. It's about the notion of censorship, kind of like those other titles I mentioned. So this is called Fahrenheit 451, and the protagonist here is Guy Montag, and Guy Montag is a fireman, but not in the way that we think of firemen as firefighters who put fires out. Instead, he starts fires. Specifically, he burns books. So, in the kind of science fiction world that he lives in, books have been banned. All printed material has been banned. So, books, diaries, newspapers, journals, things like that. So, he goes into homes and he destroys any printed material that he finds. Now, he's not necessarily a bad guy, although that totally makes him sound like a bad guy. But he is really unhappy with his life. He just feels like there is something more to life, some sort of more meaning that he doesn't, he feels a little hollow. And so he is introduced to a different kind of world by his neighbor, Clarice. And the world that he's introduced to is the world of the printed book, the very thing that he is tasked with burning. So she kind of shows him this forbidden world of printed materials and how books can really enrich your life, and why it's really horrible to burn them in the first place. So the title, actually, Fahrenheit 451, is because at the temperature 451 degrees Fahrenheit, that's the temperature at which paper burns. So I loved this book when I read it as a teenager. And then when I went to college, I went to Carroll Community College, and I used to do my homework in the basement of the library there. And the table I would sit at was very close to where they had their collection of books about social issues, things like censorship. And I found this really great anthology of books that were censored for different types of reasons. And I kind of went through, when I would take a break from homework and was like eating lunch or whatever, and I would read about all of these great summaries of these books. And I was like, why were they ever banned? And so I started to make a list of ones that I thought sounded cool, because most banned books are really good. And I started making my way through them and reading them. And doing so, I read about the American Library Association and their notion of intellectual freedom and everyone's freedom to read. And that really made me want to be a librarian. So this book actually kind of has a long-lasting effect on my chosen career path as well. So this is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. You can check out this book at any of our CCPL library branches in person, through express pickup, or even online at www.library.carr.org. And if you'd like more information about Banned Books Week, please go to www.ala.org. That's the American Library Association's website. And thank you so much for celebrating the freedom to read. Bye.